Dagda-aligned agus fáilte. Hi, hello, and welcome. Jon O'Sullivan from the Irish Pagan School. And we are here with Zachary, known as Wade, from the Fireside Mentor Group that we ran. Zachary, thank you very much for being with me through the process. I really, really appreciate it. You kind of had an interesting approach when you came into the group, but like, what was it that drew you to the Fireside Group?
So originally, I joined the Fireside Group to kind of like develop a practice and also say hello to An Dagda. That was my original approach, but the main thing I was looking for is trying to figure out what a practice kind of looked like as well, because I started getting into paganism for about a year, and I still didn't really develop a practice yet. So that was what put me here originally.
Awesome. Okay. And so with that kind of specific goal in mind to find a way to the practice, like where would you say you were before, during, and then after the mentorship with your goal?
So before, it kind of felt like I still didn't know, and I felt like I was missing something and I just couldn't figure out what it was to like figure out a practice. It sounds weird, but I mean, I was like, well, everyone else has one. I was like, why do I not? So I joined, and then during the process, what ended up happening was he kind of like held my hand, or like kind of like guided me to a very big question that I needed to ask. And it's like, what do you want? Like, just in general. And that was mainly, I was like, that's why I'm lost, because I'm not walking down any paths because I can't decide on which path to take. And I was like, okay. So at the end of it, I was able to choose a path, and I'm like, let's go with this. This is going to be good.
Awesome. No, I'm delighted to hear that. I'm delighted it's given you kind of structure and a process that you've come through it, having achieved movement towards the goal, if that makes sense. I'm curious, is your path the Dagda path? Is the path the Dagda path?
I believe so, yes, because right now what I'm working on is learning a guitar. So
nice.
That's the task that I have.
Awesome, brilliant. Well, yeah, I'm completely biased, but I also say that the world needs more Dagda people in it. So, in regards to your experience with like the mentor group, like have you done many mentor groups like this before?
No, most of them have a lot of structure, but I'm okay with like structure and learning. But this one was also very able to listen to other people directly talk about their experiences as much as they were. That's how probably the best way I learn is sometimes I'll just kind of go quiet and I'll listen to everyone else's experience. I think you can get so much wisdom that way. So it was really perfect for me because I get to listen to everyone else. And then I was able to make those connections, and it was phenomenal.
Right. And then as the mentor, how do you think I've communicated well, facilitated in the right way? And what was your experience with me specifically as a mentor?
So as a mentor, I thought you were spectacular, because whenever that, it didn't seem to matter what someone brought up. You had a story, a comparable story that was something still on topic. So you learned something about An Dagda. You have a comparable story to kind of glean wisdom from what you probably should have been experienced, or kind of like where it seems like their question kind of lies. And then you were able to give like personal insight just from a long time of relationship with this deity too. The connection was amazing. I feel like I could have opened up and talked to you about anything, and you would hit me with a comparable story. And also it's like, and it just made me feel welcome. It's like, it's not the first time, but like here, like it's like, here's an answer, or usually you kind of like guide it into where we can find our own answers in the first place. And I think that is amazing. So as a mentor, I think you did really good.
Thanks, Wade. I knew I would have to ask that question, and of course, that question would make me very uncomfortable because of my own stuff. But I really, really appreciate that perspective that you've shared with me, because I want to be able to facilitate things to the best of my ability, so that people can have the achievement of their goals, whether they have goals or not, whether they define them or not, to get something by going through the process. And so I suppose the last thing to ask you then is, how likely are you to recommend the Fireside Mentor Group? And if you were to give one piece of advice to someone else looking to come into it, what would it be?
Got you. So I think it's no surprise. I would say 10 out of 10. I would recommend this group to other people. As someone who was completely confused on where he was going in the first place, now to have direction, I think I got exactly what I was looking for and then some on top of that. And if it worked for someone, probably from as confused as I was, it's going to work for any. If I had to give one piece of advice, I would say, don't limit yourself. Don't be worried. Don't be afraid. Just like a lot of this is very like your connection and how you keep it open, like just allows you to take that kind of risk in the same place to get comfortable in your own skin. And that's honestly, you're not really going to find that in a lot of other places. And so for that, I really do thank you.
Thanks very much. I really appreciate it, Zachary. Gurav Mila Magatkar, thank you very much for being with us, friend, and delighted for you taking time to go through this mentor process with me. Cheers.
Gurama Hagathon. Thank you so much.